Good morning. How's everybody doing? I'm starting from, I'm in my bathroom because everybody's virtual learning in my house and I don't want them busting in my room, interrupting me. So hopefully they won't come in the bathroom. But I got a quick word this morning. God gave it to me yesterday and I needed to go ahead and let you all know. And today's word comes from Hebrews 12, verse 3 through 17. And I hope that you receive this word. I hope that it speaks to you like it spoke to me. Well, let me begin. The title of it is Do Not Grow Weary. It says, Consider him who endured for sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. And in this point, Christ reminds us that we're going through daily trials and stuff, and he did as well. And when he went through it, it was to the point, oh Lord, this feels tight. Sorry, y'all. To the point of shedding his blood. And so he died on the cross for us. But then it goes on, and you have not, and have you forgotten the exhortation that addresses you as sons? My son, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord. Okay. When you go through trials, when you're going through stuff, know that God is disciplining you. He's molding you. He's shaping you. He's building you. And it says, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord, nor be weary when reproved by him. For the Lord disciplines the one he loves, and he chastises every son whom he receives. So when you're going through stuff, know that it's not to hurt you or to harm you. It's to build you up, to shape you, to mold you, to be the vessel that you were born to be. And that's the great, fearfully and wonderfully made vessel you are. It says, it is for discipline that you endure. It is for discipline that you have to endure. Endure, go through it, take it, learn from it, build from it, grow from it. It says God is treating you as his sons. And then it questions us. It says, for what son is there whom his father does not discipline? If you are left without discipline in which all have participated, then you are illegitimate children and not sons. Besides, this we have had earthly fathers who disciplined us, and we respected them. Shall we not much more be subject to the Father of spirits and live? For they discipline us for a short time, as it seemed best to them. But he disciplines us for our good, that we may share his holiness. So when he goes into discipline you, when you're learning from a situation, God is building you so that you will become more like him. It's through those trials and those tribulations that you learn. It's through those times when people are coming up against you and they're trying to do everything to you and behind your back secretly planning, hurt and pain against you. But it's through those times that the Lord will reveal himself and he will show himself true to you. And he's just building you and molding you. And he says he has to discipline you. He has to let you endure certain things so that you will learn, so that you will grow within him. It says at verse 9, besides this, we have earthly fathers who discipline us, and we respected them. Shall we not much more be subject to the Father of spirits and live? For they discipline us for a short time as it seemed best to them, but he disciplines us for our good, that we may share his holiness. For the moment, all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. Just like when you were growing up and you were going through stuff, you was growing up and your parents, they had to discipline you. It was stuff in their house. They was like, nah, you ain't gonna do that, bruh. Ma'am, you not doing that. You just might as well forget about it. And you like, man, why? Or when you came in late from curfew, that's like, that's a wrap. You ain't going out for a whole month till you learn and your curfew is short. And you're like, what did I do? But you learn through those times of discipline. And sometimes when they said you couldn't go to that party or you couldn't do certain things, it was to protect you. It was for your good. And then you learn and you start to see things. And now as you older and you have your own children, you're like, now I get it. At verse 12, it says, therefore, lift your drooping hands and strengthen your weak knees. Therefore, he said, keep your head up. Straighten up, cuz. Straighten up. No, I'm just playing. He said, get it together. Get it together. Don't wallow in the hard times. Don't be hurt. Don't be overwhelmed by it. Trust him. Believe in him. It says, strengthen your weak knees and make paths for your feet so that what is lame may not be put out of joint. That means, so later on when you go through stuff and it's hurting and it's painful, can't nobody knock you out of alignment of God, because you went through times where you had to endure and you had to be built and you had to understand that this is just a faith builder. This is just molding me to be greater. I'm becoming solid. I'm becoming a brick house because I won't have to worry. I endured so that I can grow in the Lord and I can know how to fight these battles when certain things are coming up against me. Okay. It said, lift your drooping hands and strengthen your weak knees. Verse 13 says, and make straight paths for your feet so that what is lame may not be put out of joint, but rather be healed. Through this process that you have to endure, know that God is healing you. He's making you better. You come out better than you were before. He's growing you. He's healing every place. When you go through a broken heart, when you go through bad things, when the things you like, why do I have to go through this? Man, he's preparing you for greater. He's healing you from the inside. Sometimes it starts from the inside out. On the outside, you're looking a hot mess. But on the inside, one day at a time, he's doing things. He's rebuilding you. And then you come out and then it exhibits in your, on the outside. Many times, you know, when you go through stuff and, like in the inside, when you're hurting and there's things go on, it physically, like, it'll manifest in like, you'll start to feel, you be like, dang, I got headaches all the time. Well, you got inner turmoil. You got different things going on inside of you. So you have to release those things. And we have to go through and we endure. But when we release them, God heals us from the inside out. So it says at 14, this is what God tells you to do. While you're going through enduring, while he's treating you as his child, while he's disciplining you, while you're growing through this, verse 14 says, strive for peace with everyone. Quit always getting in stuff. Quit arguing. Quit arguing with fools. Quit going back and forth with fools. I'm learning this myself. There is no point to go back and forth with a fool. It just pulls you down. And now you're doing the same thing that they doing. Now you mad. Now your whole spirit done messed up the whole day. You like, man. So don't argue with fools. It says strive for peace with everyone and for the holiness. Strive to be holy. Strive to be like God. God know we ain't perfect, but if he said, suffer with me and I'll bring you out. I'll make you righteous. I'll lift you up. Okay. So it says strive for peace with everyone and for the holiness. Be like God, in which make sure I'm saying this right. It says, strive for peace in everyone and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. So if you don't be holy, you don't get on the right path. If you don't keep yourself straightened up, you don't try and live by his word, do his will, do his way, you won't see God that way. So get it together. Get yourself in alignment. Enjoy the discipline. Enjoy the time when he's trying to teach you something. It says, see to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble. You know, when you be mad about stuff, you know, when you ain't gotten over something, you letting it eats you up. When you be bitter about something, it eats you up more than it's ever affecting the person that you over there mad about. So that's why he says, don't hold no root of bitterness. Don't let that spring up in your life, because all it's going to do is cause you trouble. The Bible said that. Y'all better start reading this book. Like, I used to be like, oh my gosh, it's just so hard, thou art, and all this other stuff. But now, when you get in the word and you understand, you said, Lord, teach me, and you treat it like a conversation. You be like, so Lord, what was you saying? What was you saying? You said, oh, the root of bitterness. Shoot. Make sure you don't have no root of bitterness. Why? Oh, because it's going to cause trouble. And then I'll be like, well, let me look in life. Anytime I ever been bitter, and when you be mad about something, then you be snapping on everybody, just doing all kind of stuff. It causes a lot of trouble. Then it says, and make sure no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble. And by it, many become defiled. Truth. And then it says, make sure that no one is sexually immoral or unholy like Esau, who sold his birthright for a single meal. Now, y'all know how that sexually immoral thing, I ain't even going to get into it. Get tied in with the wrong people doing the wrong things, and then you got problems. I'm just saying, you just trust God. There's a reason he said wait until marriage. I used to be like, but we had needs and we had desires and we had wants. You don't want no stress. For real. Let it go. It ain't worth it. That moment of time. And it is a moment of time. It ain't worth what comes out of it. And that's why God says we have to die to self daily. You got to tell that flesh, no. Not today, Satan. You know? And then we end at verse 17. And again, he said, don't be unholy like Esau, who sold his birthright for a single meal. Some people out here selling themselves short for something that small. Ain't even worth it. It says in verse 17, for you know that afterward, when he desired to inherit the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no chance to repent, though he sought it with tears. Don't be stuck like that. Don't be stuck in a moment where you can't get it back and you crying tears, but what's done is done because you did not obey the word of the Lord. You didn't obey what God was telling you to do. So today's lesson, when we go together, what is it saying? Don't be weary. Okay, when you're going through something, God says endure with him, trust him, believe in him, lean on him, stand on him. Remember, he disciplines those that he loves. Don't think that you're going through hell for no reason. God loves you, and he's going to always bring out something bigger, better, and greater, all working for your good. Oh, my hair, sorry. So make sure that you just understand he is doing everything, and it says for all things will come together and work for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Man, he is not a man that he shall lie. It's for real. It's true. And then he says he disciplines those that he loves. So make sure that you listen to him and make sure that you believe what he's saying. And then don't let bitterness come up in you. Don't be somebody who's bitter all the time and angry all the time just because you're going through something. Learn how to trust him. Learn how to grow through that pain. Learn how to endure. Ask God. Ask him for discernment. Ask him, why am I going through this? What can I do, Lord? How help me? Ask him for help. Shoot. Don't be too proud. Ask him for help. And live holy. Try to live holy. Do your best. The Lord knows we are not perfect. We are all sinners and have come short of the glory. But he has equipped you. He said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And he says, I have not given you any situation that you can't make it through. The Lord is not going to put more on you than you can bear. I hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. I love you all. Remember, this is the day the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. Choose life. Choose happiness. Choose peace. Don't look at the things that's coming up against you. Don't look at how your body feel and how your mind is thinking. Think above. He said, think upon these things. Things that are happy, loving, joyful. Things that bring peace. And always remember, if you don't have peace about a situation, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You don't have peace about it for a reason. Hope you have a beautiful day. Love you all.